Democratic governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, was heckled by diners while eating out with his wife and children as he pleads with people to keep Thanksgiving dinners small. It's actually really funny. They called him a real dick and told one of his sons to go F yourself. And you know what? I'm not a fan, but I laughed because it was the Democrats who said, and Maxine Waters, if you see them, confront them. It was the Democrats who cheered for the rioting and the protests. I know they weren't literally saying, yay, riots, but they were referring to not so peaceful protests and riots as peaceful protests. And it was Kamala Harris who helped bail them out. Now, you get these Democrats like Gavin Newsom who say, we got to lock down everybody and I'm going to go party. They go party and they get caught twice. Nancy Pelosi gets her hair did and when she's not supposed to. Lori Lightfoot, same thing. Well, Phil Murphy wants to go out and eat. And guess what? People are going to get in your face like Maxine Waters said they should. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has been accosted. Oh, heavens. While eating with his family at a restaurant by two women who told him you're such a dick. The Democrat governor was filmed eating outside along with his wife and their 4 children when he was approached by 2 passerbys. You're having fun with your family, and in the meantime, you're having all other kind of BS going on. One could be heard saying while the other heckled. They also told one of his sons, go F yourself, when he tried to stand up for his father. Governor Murphy and his wife said nothing to the 2 women. Murphy is pleading with residents to only see their immediate family and keep gatherings to 10 or less over Thanksgiving. Here we can see the photos of his family eating out. And this guy, dude, the woman aimed a torrent of abuse at the family, including eldest son Joshua, who asked them to put masks on. They told him to go F yourself. I'm not a fan. I don't like it when you go up to people and you yell at them in a restaurant. You see them, you can maybe say something, walk away. Fine, it's public, you can speak. But I'm not a fan. I'm not. But I got to tell you, it is a bit cathartic to see Democrats kind of get the same treatment they asked for, upon others. And to see these, like Governor Murphy, who issued this executive order for mail-in voting no one asked for. On Monday morning, he appeared on Good Morning America to plead his case. There's a huge amount of personal responsibility here. Everybody has to do the right thing. We've got a vortex here, cold weather, people letting their hair down with fatigue and holiday after holiday. We're pleading with people. Please, God, do the right thing. One police chief said he would not enforce the rules. Good for him. Andrew Kudrick of Howell Township said he will be instructing his officers not to respond to call-outs unless an egregious breach has occurred, calling the rules draconian. He told Fox News, I'm not going to have my police officers going knocking on doors and ruining somebody's holiday just to check how many people are inside their house. It's not happening. Let me tell you about New Jersey. You got these people saying defend the police. You got the left saying defund the police. And my thing's kind of like, defend the police, but seriously reform them, especially in places like New Jersey. Let me tell you a story. New Jersey is a terrible state for gun rights. I know because I live there. And we're in the process of relocating, I guess, just because we're in this tumultuous period. I haven't been there. I was there just like a week or 2 ago. But here's how it works. Here's the stories I'm told about New Jersey. New Jersey, really close to Philadelphia, to Pennsylvania. And if you were in Philadelphia, you can get to Atlantic City in like 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Not that long of a drive to go gambling, go to, Atlantic City. You can play, they got a bunch of casinos there. I heard a story about a lady. She lived in Pennsylvania, legal to own concealed weapons, and she didn't check her laws. I mean, it's her responsibility. And she drives into New Jersey. She gets pulled over. And then she told the officer, just so you know, I have my concealed weapon on me. He said, oh, wonderful. Step out of the vehicle, and then arrested her. And then she got charged with a felony. And she was so shocked and surprised because the cops don't care about what's right. They just say, well, got to follow the law. There is clearly what's right and there is clearly what's wrong. And what the cop should have done, it should have said, ma'am, turn your vehicle around right now. You're not supposed to bring a concealed weapon into the States against the law. You're getting a warning. Go home. That probably would have been the appropriate thing to do because I really doubt this woman is going to be some kind of mass murderer or whatever. She informed the cop, legal, gun owner. But these cops just say, I don't know, my boss told me I got to arrest you. We saw this in, I think, what town was it? Was it Belmar in New Jersey where the gym owners were like, we're going to follow all the guidelines and all the rules and we're going to open. And the cops came and actually arrested people. Are you kidding? That's a violation of the First Amendment. You can't do that. Supposed to be upholding the Constitution, but these cops don't care whether it's the First or Second Amendments. So yeah, I'm totally for police reform. I'm not going to blindly just say, hooray. But good on this cop. I won't enforce draconian lockdown. Glad to hear it. Murphy addressed the video of the restaurant at a press conference on Monday afternoon, confirming that it took place on Saturday night in Red Bank. Asked what led up to the situation, Murphy said, nothing at all happened beforehand. In the footage, the woman holding the phone can be seen approaching Murphy, who is sitting outside along with his family. Hey, how you doing? The woman asks him. While another female voice in the background can be heard telling him, you're such a dick. One of Murphy's children can be heard asking the pair whether they're drunk, which they deny, before asking them to put masks on. You can go F yourself. How's that? One of the women says, I don't need an effing mask. You know why I don't need a mask? Because there ain't nothing effing wrong with me. I like your Trump phone case, Murphy's son shoots back. You know who he likes? He likes my dad. After a short back and forth, the women decide to leave, but not without aiming one last expletive in Murphy's direction. Get the F out of here, she says. Murphy said the women left him alone after their friend pulled him away. I would just like to say a couple things. Number one, I'm a big boy. I have thick skin. That doesn't impact me at all. And I think I can say the same for my wife. I would say this, though. Our kids are not part of that. And so that's one observation, the governor explained at his presser. He went on to point out how everyone in the state and the nation is facing overwhelming stress because of the pandemic, including himself. That's right. He's a pathetic, spineless failure of a politician who should not be leading anybody because he's ignoring the actual science, terrified that someone will say a mean word to him. Dude, being a leader means people going to hate you. A lot of them. Grow up and deal with it. And then take care of your state properly. But this dude's not that smart. He says, I don't condone out of bounds behavior, but let's leave my family out of it and let's keep each other in our prayers because this is an extraordinarily stressful period we're in. You know what? Yeah, he's right, though. Keep people's families out of it, man. It's not his kids or his family's fault. The dude's going to go out to dinner. Fine. I get it. I think he's a moron. I think he's terrible at what he does. I think he's despotic. He does not have the power he thinks he does. And I believe he should be sued to oblivion for a lot of the executive orders he's passed and the terrible leadership. But that's the problem with single party control in a state like New Jersey. It's never going to go red. And you're going to constantly get people like him who don't care about you. He doesn't care about you. He does not care about you. These people don't. And it's been that way for a long time. And that was a quote from George Carlin. No, this guy just wants the keys to the castle. And then when it comes to hard decisions, he's going to say, I choose to destroy the economy of this state because I don't want to be held responsible. Then don't run for the job. If you can't be responsible for what comes with being a leader, then don't do it. Now he's going to say, it's not my fault. It's the pandemic. We had to lock everything down. Everyone else did. That is the failure of leadership. Instead of saying we must find the right balance, we must protect the vulnerable, and we must protect the livelihoods of all of our citizens, he says, lock them all up. I don't care. Because this dude, like all these other Democrats, don't want to accept responsibility. It's pathetic. It's spineless. They say New Jersey is currently in the midst of a wave of coronavirus infections that has seen the 7-day average soar to its highest rate of the pandemic. Oh, that's strange. The state's been locked down and everyone's been wearing masks. It must not have worked, you moron. Oh, just do more, I guess. If it's not working, why do you keep doing it? They go on to explain hospitalizations are up. They give us the numbers. Yeah. Murphy last week announced a curfew for the whole state, forcing bars and restaurants to close at 10 p.m. while seating in bars banned. Meanwhile, Newark was placed under a total lockdown due to start November 25th that will see people banned from leaving their homes. Man, this is why I am currently out in the middle of nowhere. So I was just up in Jersey and, I'm back here now and I'm probably going to, bunker down here for the time being. We'll see how things play out. I might have to go and just change my residence, to this permanently, I guess. But they've gone nuts. They've gone nuts. You can't leave. You're in Newark. You can't leave your home. You can't leave your home. That's absolutely crazy. Except for emergencies. Define an emergency. Can I walk my dog? Can I exercise? Locking down just like we saw in these other countries. And it's probably going to get worse. I hope you're all paying attention to how bad it's going to get. You cannot leave your home in the United States. That is unconstitutional. And any cop who enforces that should be arrested for false imprisonment or kidnapping and should be fired for violating the Constitution, violating constitutional rights. I think we're going to see this get worse, especially if Biden ends up winning. So if you are a regular American and maybe you didn't vote for Trump, maybe you don't care, I wonder if you regret it now, because they're going to lock you in your house. Not everywhere. I think the people who live in the middle of nowhere are going to be okay for the most part, because ain't nobody coming out here to enforce anything. I live in the mountains, I mean, kind of. It's elevated. I'll put it that way. I can see mountains. And I really doubt that anybody's going to come up my driveway and because I don't live near anybody, But in a lot of these cities, they're going to lock you in your house. So I hope you've been paying attention. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you all next time.